Hi there, America the Beautiful. It's Mrs. Chappie here. I'm so happy to see you guys. Welcome to our very last class. That kind of makes me sad because I have so much fun with you. I am still kind of sad that I don't get to see you every day, but I just love imagining you listening and watching this video and learning about what makes America so beautiful and special and unique. We've learned a lot this semester, even though some of it's been remote. But I thank you guys so much for watching the videos and learning about America with me because I just love history and I love teaching you about America. So today in America the Beautiful, we would have been doing something very special if we were in class. I had planned for you a giant 4th of July celebration for our very last day, but we're not together, so we can't do that. But I'm hoping that you guys will do it at your homes. I have for your parents a bunch of different ideas of the crafts that we could have done. If we were together, we would have made maybe 4th of July rockets or a 4th of July windsock, or I even had little 4th of July projects that were fireworks inside of a bottle we could make. So I've posted all of those for your parents. You can ask them, Mom, Dad, can we make this that Mrs. Chappie showed us? That would be kind of fun. If you do that, I'd love to see it because I love knowing what you guys are up to. So, because we can't be together, you're going to have your very own 4th of July celebration in your house. And you're probably thinking, that's kind of silly, Mrs. Chappie. It's April. You're right, it is April. But we can always remember why we celebrate 4th of July. And so that's what I want to talk to you guys about today is why we celebrate 4th of July, maybe some fun facts about the 4th of July. I have for you a spiffy, of course, 4th of July book. I told you guys that I have a bookshelf of history books upstairs in my office. And so I went upstairs and I said, okay, I know I have a 4th of July book. Let's find it. And I found it and I was kind of sad because it is just super, super long, full of just like words. And I'm like, well, that's not fun. There are a few pictures. So I will show you parts of my 4th of July book. So I'm going to go ahead and like we do in this silly little class, I'm going to share my screen with you so that we can see my silly little 4th of July PowerPoint that I made for you because I want to talk to you about American independence and how cool that is and how that is what makes America beautiful and special. So I want to start by saying happy 4th of July to y'all. And why do we celebrate the 4th of July? Well, let me go back to that. Whoops, let me go back one slide. And I'm going to make myself bigger so that I can talk to you guys. Let's see if I can do that. I don't have as much skill as one would think. Here we go. Oops, maybe not. Okay. Well, maybe Mrs. Chappie will just say teeny tiny small in the corner. Oh, there I am. There I am. There I am. A little bit too big. There we go. So that looks good. So, guys, what is the 4th of July? Why do we celebrate it? Well, the 4th of July is our Independence Day. It's become a federal holiday, which means that if you work for the government or if you're in a school, which is part of the government, or in a government building like a library, that it's a holiday. And in America, we do all kinds of different things to celebrate that day, like picnics and parties and parades, and a lot of families have barbecues and baseball games and things like that. Some families, it's a time for a family reunion where you get to see grandma and grandpa, maybe your cousins, people like that. Now, we've been celebrating the 4th of July, our Independence Day, for as long as we've had independence. We got independence, or we declared independence, I should say, on July 4th, 1776. And the very first 4th of July party or celebration happened the very next year in 1777. It was in the city of Philadelphia where they hosted a big parade. They had cannons and fireworks and all kinds of stuff. So let me tell you some interesting facts about how we got our independence and where all of that came from, which I think is pretty fascinating. So I got this little clip art because I wanted to show you this guy, Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson ended up being our third president. He's on a $2 bill. Fun facts about Thomas Jefferson. But he's the man who's given credit for writing the Declaration of Independence. He actually did it with some other friends. There was like a committee of them. Benjamin Franklin was on it. John Adams was on the committee. 2 other folks. There were 5 total, but 3 did most of the work. And they came up with this declaration. And the Declaration of Independence said to the King of England, hey, us colonies, us Americans, we want to be free. We don't want to be ruled by you anymore. Thought I'd show you a quick picture of what Thomas Jefferson looks like. He lived in Monticello, and this is him with one of his coats on. And he looks similar to this on the $2 bill if we look at that. I love this cartoon because it's a little cartoon that shows the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And these guys represent John Adams and, or no, that's Benjamin Franklin. That's supposed to be John Adams. And this guy is supposed to be Thomas Jefferson presenting their Declaration of Independence. This is a painting of that. And this painting is actually hanging in our Capitol. If you go to the Capitol in Washington, D.C., you can see this. It's hanging in a place called the Rotunda, and it has all these paintings around in a circle that show the history of America. And this was such an important part, the Declaration of Independence. It shows Thomas Jefferson presenting it to the entire, what was called the Continental Congress, telling them, hey, look what I'm doing. The Declaration of Independence was actually presented on July 2nd, fun fact, and then it was revised, and so that's why we celebrated on the 4th of July. It was signed by all these folks who are in this room here. You see them all there. There were 56 people who signed the Declaration of Independence from all of the original 13 colonies. What other fun facts can I think of that have to do with this Declaration of Independence? 2 of these folks here, let's see if I have a picture of them there. I think I did put it for you. So I wanted to show you what the Declaration of Independence looks like. And I'm going to take you on a tour of my office, which is kind of embarrassing because my office is a mess right now. But I've shown you other fun things in my office, so I want to show you this. This over here, if I can come over here and show you, up on the wall, can you see that up on the wall right there with the feather? That, if I point to it, there it is. That right there is a copy of the Declaration of Independence that I have on my screen for you. And there's some really famous words in the Declaration of Independence that are so famous, I have them right there on my wall. Can you see those? Those words say, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Such a big deal that I put those words on my wall. So I wanted to show you guys that in my office. Oh, while we're in my office, let me show you this too. This is Thomas Jefferson. Remember I said Thomas Jefferson was one of the primary author of this Declaration of Independence? Thomas Jefferson is so cool. I have an entire bookshelf. I showed you Abraham Lincoln before. You remember I showed you Abraham Lincoln down here? I have an entire Thomas Jefferson. If I can get there. There we go. I'll move that. That entire thing is Thomas Jefferson books, and I have, if I can pull it out of here, this, which is called a bust of Thomas Jefferson, on my bookshelf of Thomas Jefferson books. There, Thomas Jefferson. Oops, where are you? There you are, Thomas Jefferson again. All kinds of fun Thomas Jefferson things in Mrs. Chappie's office. In fact, I'm going to take some stuff off the wall and show you. Did I show you this one? I don't think I have. This is, can you see that J on that plate? This is a replica of the china that was in the White House when Thomas Jefferson was president. Look, I'm just taking everything off my wall to show you guys. This, can you see that? Is also a replica of the key to the White House when Thomas Jefferson was president. So two of the people who wrote the Declaration of Independence went on to actually become presidents of the United States. Look at those fun facts I have. These two guys right there. Do you recognize that? That's the same that is on my wall. Same portrait. It's his official presidential portrait. And John Adams, which I do not have anything about John Adams in my office. That's not true. I have a couple of books. I'm looking at my bookshelf over there. I do have a couple of John Adams books. So these two signers went on to become, what do we call, presidents of the United States. And this is kind of weird. Are you ready for this fact, guys? Both of these two people died on the 4th of July, 50 years after the Declaration of Independence was signed. Who would have thunk? Like, that's like such a weird fact. People like go, whoa, are you serious? Yeah, they died on the 4th of July. Another one of our presidents died on the 4th of July, or he wasn't a president, he was a founding father who helped, didn't sign the Declaration, but was part of that process of getting independence. He died on the 4th of July too. His name was James Monroe. There's a picture of him. There was an actual president. This picture that I have of this president right here, he actually was born on the 4th of July. That's Calvin Coolidge. He was our 30th president, and he was born in the year 1872 on the 4th of July. I'm wondering if any of you have birthdays on the 4th of July. If I was with you in class, I would ask you that, and I bet you would tell me all when your birthdays are. I wonder if anybody has a July birthday. My birthday's by Halloween. I'm an October birthday. But this is President Coolidge, and his birthday was on the 4th of July. There's a country called the Philippines, if you've heard of that, and they have the same Independence Day as we do. So their Independence Day is the 4th of July. They celebrate the 4th of July because that's when they got their independence in 1946. So we share that kind of birthday with another country. Something that happens every year on the 4th of July, people eat hot dogs. I wonder if you guys have ever had hot dogs on the 4th of July. Every year we eat approximately, you ready for this? I looked up this number for you. 155 million hot dogs are eaten in the United States because the 4th of July is considered to be the biggest hot dog holiday of all times. In fact, my dad, he's so funny, on the 4th of July, he's like, we have to have hot dogs and hamburgers or it's not the 4th of July. So hot dogs, a lot of them eaten in America. Do you guys recognize this? I'm thinking you do. This is the Liberty Bell. Now, the Liberty Bell has a big crack in it. And so every year on the 4th of July, they actually tap on the Liberty Bell because it can't be rung because they're afraid it might break. It hasn't been actually rung where it goes ding ding, you know, with its the center of it since 1846. But on the 4th of July, they tap it 13 times because there were 13 colonies, right? And when liberty was proclaimed on the 4th of July, they took that Declaration of Independence to all of the 13 colonies and they read it to all of the colonies. I got to go to Massachusetts once and see where they read it there from the balcony of the old State House, which was pretty cool. Back when, oh, here, I think I have something I can show you in my office on the Liberty Bell if I look around. So I can take you up here. Look, I collect old history books, but right here, I have a replica. Can you see it? Of the Liberty Bell in my office. And it is right next to the Constitution. So pretty cool. I do have a lot of junk. Can you guys see my office? How much junk I have in my office? At the very tippy top up there, I want to show you that if I can get way up there. Can you guys see the Statue of Liberty at the top? I might have shown you that already, probably. Oops. Oh, goodness. What else? So when America declared its independence, when the Declaration of Independence was written, the United States was super small. And there were only 2.5 million people. Today, there's 314 million people. So a couple other little things. When we declared independence and did the Declaration of Independence and became our very own country, there was a lot of talk. What should we have as our national symbol? You guys recognize that? We did that in class together before we had to go home and quarantine. And we talked about the symbol, the bald eagle being the symbol of freedom and liberty in America. But somebody wanted another symbol. What's that? You guys all are going, it's a turkey, Mrs. Chappie. Yes, it's a turkey. Benjamin Franklin, crazy Benjamin Franklin, he said, yeah, I think America needs a good, strong symbol. I think we should have a turkey. Well, who won that debate? Not Benjamin Franklin. And our symbol of American freedom, of liberty, ended up being the bald eagle. But all of this happened around the time of the 4th of July when we were declaring independence from Britain. Every year, 4th of July, they do a lot of fireworks. That project I have has fireworks in a bottle for you guys to do, which would be very cool. And they also have a lot of baseball games on the 4th of July where they often have flags. I gotta tell you guys about one that I was at once for a softball game. And the flag came in for the 4th of July with people jumping out of an airplane. They jumped out of an airplane with a flag behind them and they came down with the flag streaming. It was pretty cool. That was pretty different. So here's the project that I was telling you about, to do fireworks inside a bottle. That's a fun idea for 4th of July. Oh, I wish we were making it together. Or rockets, because rockets are often used for fireworks. These are like representing fireworks, which, fun fact, fireworks were first invented in China. And there's a sign from a line from our Star-Spangled Banner, our national anthem, that says the rocket's red glare, because cannonballs were being fired in the War of 1812. But so maybe you can make these using toilet paper rolls. That would be kind of fun. Or this would be another possibility that I thought we could have made. We could make these patriotic wind socks. Now, if you were with me, I'd say, hey guys, how many stripes does our flag have? And you would go, oh, easy, Mrs. Chappie, there were 13. There's 13 because of the 13 colonies. And I would say, how many stars? And you would go, oh, Mrs. Chappie, it depends in history what time you're talking about. Today on our flag, we have 50 stars because we have 50 states. But throughout history, we've had different amounts. Like not too long ago, before Alaska and Hawaii were states, we only had 48 stars, but now we have 50. So those are a couple of things that you guys could maybe do. Let's see, what am I doing here? Oh, I'm trying to get out of there. There we go. That'll give you some things. And I told you I'd show you some fun stuff out of the 4th of July book. So 4th of July, this front page shows where the Declaration of Independence was drafted. That's in Philadelphia. Happens to just be on the front of that. Blah, 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 nothing there. Of course, 4th of July, the birthday of our country. It's the 4th of July in the city of Philadelphia. More than 200 years ago, children lived near the State House, must have seen the candles lit there on the stormy afternoon. So you could look down this street and you could see the children looking out down to that State House where they're going to draft the Declaration of Independence. They also do the Constitution there. We see our 13 colonies. We see the original colonists there. And then this is neat. This is a picture of Thomas Jefferson writing the Declaration of Independence. Now, you know, when you guys look at historical pictures of presidents or our founding fathers, and you're always kind of wondering, who are these people? I'll give you a hint. The guy with red hair, almost always Thomas Jefferson. Another hint, the guy with the crazy wild hair standing up who looks old, almost always Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin was the oldest founding father. One of the youngest, fun fact, was a guy named Alexander Hamilton, but he wasn't in Philadelphia, he was in New York. And this picture has more pictures of Philadelphia and the Liberty Bell. Here we have the original flag. Do you guys remember we made our flag where it only had 13 stars because there were 13 colonies to begin with? And then this picture shows them going around from town to town reading that Declaration of Independence, reading those words that I told you are on my wall, those words that say, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they're endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, if you take another history class from Mrs. Chappie when you guys get a little older, we'll spend so much time talking about what those special words mean. They mean that you're born with rights that no one can take away. That's basically what those words mean. Those are special rights that you have that no one can take away. You have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So then there's lots of words that you don't want to read about. And then we see George Washington leading the troops off to war because this Declaration of Independence is going to lead, see, I like to poke out and look at the picture with you, is going to lead to the Revolutionary War. That's where America gets its freedom from the king, freedom from the king. So I know that was sad. That wasn't the whole book, but it would take like days to read the whole book. And if the library was open, guys, I would have gone to the library and got you another book to read, because I know you guys like it when we read books. But this was the only one I had in my office. But it does say the 4th of July, the story. And I told you the story. The story was the writing of the Declaration of Independence, getting freedom, and then telling all the people about that. So that, my ladies and gentlemen, is the end of our class, America the Beautiful. I hope you guys liked it. It was fun for me to teach you guys because I usually teach the older 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. So it was really fun to have kindergartners and 1st graders and 2nd graders and 3rd graders. I hope that I will have you guys in classes in the future. If I hadn't told you already, Foothill Learning Academy is going to have a really fun park day where we all get to be together. So I will look forward to seeing you guys at our park day that's going to be coming up. And you can tell me if you made one of those projects for 4th of July. Maybe we'll even have it sometime around 4th of July. I don't know when the park day will be, but it will be as soon as we're allowed to come out and go to parks. Right now, all the parks are closed. So I hope you guys are all well. I hope you guys have a wonderful summer and a little break from school. And I hope that I get to see you guys in the fall. So it's been a lot of fun and a great pleasure to be your teacher. You guys take care, and I will be crossing my fingers that I see you all super soon. Bye.